You women as human beings,
Yeah.
rather than viewed as objects. And I think that's why so many things happen. Because you want to put everyone in a box. If you don't fit into this box, you're not good enough.
Yeah.
We should also put men in boxes. Maybe then they'll know what it feels like to have this.
But then they don't like being
something.
put in a box because just recently the incident that happened at home, the assault that happened, really bad. And then on the comments you'd see people clearly commenting, "Oh, not all men," and I'm like, well, we do know that, right? So you do know how it feels to be put in a monolith. So why do you do it to others? So I think it's important to understand, like, it's we are divergent, and when we talk about things like even equality and all that, what we're saying is let everyone have their space to exist however they want to exist.
Yeah, because there's also the point where people say we want equality, but then when it's time for us to show up in things, we don't show up. So I think, for example, in the Ukraine war, which is really sad, and I hope that things get sorted out as soon as possible.
Yeah.
But then people being like, "Oh, women and children are the ones being like taken away fast." Like equality means everybody should be taken at the same time. Yeah. But I'm thinking, like, I think there are physical features that men have that women don't have, which are biological and natural, that dictate that you should be on the front line versus me being on the front line. But if I choose to be on the front line, then I've chosen to be on the front line. Yeah. Like, I think at the end of the day, equality doesn't mean that, like, we are the same person, because we are not. There are things, I can give birth, Anthony can't give birth, right? Like, the clear, like, differences that are natural, that are there to be there, like, to stay. But I think equality is more about, look at me for, like, what I bring to the table, rather than just my physique, or, like, my natural, things that I can't control, in short.
Yeah. And it's actually good that you brought that point up. Like, there are some aspects of women that we really can't do as men do. Like, if you look at maybe in the construction field, we can say equality, like women also have to go into construction, but the physicality part of it, we don't have that kind of strength to work in those fields. So when we talk about equality, it's not like in everything a man can do, a woman has to do as well. Some things, just our differences in physicality.
Well, I think for me, when I think about equality, it is having the freedom to do it if you want to. And not being. And I mean, I do not support war at any given time. And to be honest, for me, my thoughts on the whole idea of, like, men have to stay and defend the country, and women have to leave the country, and all that. I just think people should just not fight, because the whole essence behind this, because I'm sure there are men who don't want to be on the forefront, and they should not be forced to be on the forefront.
That's true.
So I think this whole thing, for me, it just feels like it's just some rich people making decisions, making the poor people have to go through all this trouble. But for me, I just think this whole war thing should just... It's unnecessary, and no one should be forced to be drafted in war, whether they're male or female. If you want to go fight for your country. If you don't want, whether you're male or female, you should not be forced to go and fight. For things that probably will not end up benefiting you. So I think that would be better. But again, as I said, we have a long way to go before we get to a point where something like that is possible.
Yeah. I have another question. This is around women and women having choices. And this is a very sensitive topic. It's on, I think, how we dress, for example, and like issues like abortion and stuff like that. And I know that has been such a huge conversation in the US and I think in churches and stuff like that. To what extent should women be able to decide like what we want to wear, or whether we want to have the child or not, whether we want to be married or not, whether we want families or not? Like, in your opinion, to what extent should we be allowed to make these decisions? Especially when you think of a context of marriage, for example. Like, if you're married to someone and this person wants a child and you're like, I don't want a child, right? And then it so happens a baby comes and you know, it's not what you are planning for, it's not something that you want, something like how like far do we go in terms of we have a decision to say it's my body, I'm the one who's gonna have to take the time off to take care of this thing and stuff like that. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, for me, I think a woman should be free to express how she feels in the marriage. It's a partnership, of course, so if she says that she's not ready to have the child, they can, have a conversation and decide, okay, you're not ready right now. What are your, what's your timeline? Like, when will you be ready, or something like that? Beyonce, like, she and her husband, they agreed, like, for her, because she will be sacrificing her career in the music industry. So they decided for every baby she gets an allowance to cover for your time when she will not be performing and she will be losing money. Yeah. So they go.
Is like an allowance. I hope people are listening to this.
Yeah, so they agreed to do that. So I think you just have to express how you feel. What are you giving up, and what's your opportunity cost, and what will make you maybe want to get the child. So those kind of decisions, I think you just have to talk them out with your partner.
Yeah. When it comes to a relationship, then that's a partnership, and with every partnership, there's a give and take. So it's upon you to decide how much am I willing, to give, how far. And for different people, I have seen people decide to separate for reasons. One partner was ready, the other was not, and that's fine. There are people who, decide to set a timeline. So I think that totally depends on you and your partner. But it's absolutely your right not to go into something that you feel you're not ready for. Yes, because things like this, and especially when it comes to children, this thing is forever. So it should be a decision that you're making in good faith and in good consciousness. So let's talk fashion.
My dress, my child.
Let's talk fashion. I think you do what makes you feel good. It's. I don't think there should be any reason why anyone should be telling the other how to dress. I mean, this is why we have very many different types of wears. So we are all, if you're going to the office, you know what is good for you and what's comfortable for you at the office, right?
Yeah.
And that should be okay. I feel like there's too much restricting. It's unnecessary. They feel good. The importance of dressing is
to feel good.
Yeah. And I think that's how it should be. So if you want to wear short clothes, wear them. If you want to... Our ancestors used to walk around wrapped in mandizi, what is it called? Banana leaves. So you do you. If you want to wear, cover your whole body from head to toe, you do you. Whatever makes you happy. As long as at the end of the day it brings you a smile. We have a very short time to be in this world. So, and it would look, if we all looked the same, the world would be boring, man.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
So, I think everyone should just be allowed to do what's comfortable for them.
Yeah, and I think once we start giving people permission to police what
Yeah.
people are wearing, then we give a certain level of power that doesn't make sense. I don't know if you guys remember. There's some time, I think after we finished high school, people were being stripped in town, CBD.
Yes, especially like stage.
Yeah, and at the stage, I think it was the Embasava stage. I don't know if I remember very well. But that's a consequence of a society that feels like they can tell women what to do.
Yeah.
If you set a standard where we can be told, oh, that is too short.
Yeah.
Or you can't have that crop top.
Yeah.
Or you're half naked.
Yeah.
Then there's no limit to what
else it can be censored in your life.
Exactly. And
because then you'll be told you can't walk like that. You can't you can't do that in this place. You can't be out in this during this hour.
Yeah.
It spirals all through. So
yeah. Yeah, I agree. One of the things that changed so much for me when I moved to Canada was the freedom of the things that I wear now.
Yes.
Because I know when I walk in the street, nobody is going to strip me. Nobody is going to say, oh my God, what is she wearing?
Yeah.
I can just exist as I want to exist, wear what I want to wear, as long as I feel comfortable. And I feel like it would be so great if that same mentality is shifted to where we are at home. Because what I'm wearing, how is it affecting your day?
Exactly.
Like, how does it affect your life? You're not going to have a heart attack. You're not going to die. Like, you won't lose sleep. You won't lose food because I wore shorts. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I'm really glad that, especially I spend a lot of time with my dad because I live when I'm back home. I live with him, and one of the things he does, because I used to worry a lot and be like, Dad, is this disrespectful? Like, he's like, are you comfortable in it? And they'll say yes, like, then go. And I was thinking, if I'm allowed to do this in my house, why should I bother like outside there?
Yeah.
And then then it got me thinking that we need to like have the entire society having that mentality where women are just allowed to just like whatever you want to wear, just wear it. If you feel comfortable in it, like
whatever makes you happy.
Yeah.
And if you're comfortable in what you're wearing, put it on.
Yeah. Because have you ever asked yourself why, like, when men walk around shirtless, nobody asks them anything?
True.
If a guy is walking and makiwa na chai hapo tao at party, nobody is going to ask him anything.
True. Yeah. That's true.
Lakini when a woman in Kenya akivalia like those maybe they consider them indecent clothing. They're judged and say, oh, look at that woman and a vibaya. She's loose.
Yes. And
so honestly, she woke up in the morning and felt like wearing that dress and those shorts, and she's comfortable in those. Amaliamka and decided I'm gonna put on a dress to cover up everything. That's if it makes her happy, then that's what she should do.
Yeah. Because like actually I was just kichumekuja kwa mind is how this whole thing of dressing, it might look just as simple as dressing, but look at how it's used to kind of like stereotype women. Career women should wear this way. These people who wear this way cannot fit in certain societal standards. You cannot be a mother and be a bikini model. I remember there were issues with Naomi. Tara Banks was talking about the same thing and all that. And it's like, why? Now it's not just what I'm wearing. It's my worth is now attached to how how I dress every morning.
Wrong.
Yeah, so just let us leave. That's all we ask. It's not human beings. It's not complicated. It's not rocket science.
And I think this came up where I was speaking with a really close friend of mine, and the conversation came. It's not about how women are raised, because when we are raised, I don't know about you guys, but me and my mother was very strict, and at any moment she had the chance, she would remind me, don't do this, men will look at you like this.
Yes.
Don't sit like that, you're sitting badly.
Oh, yeah.
Close your legs, carry a handkerchief, like do this and that. So then the question comes, like, who's raising the men? Who's raising the men who, when they walk on the street, and they see your shoulders, they Google. They're like, that's pray for me. Who's raising this man? When else we were busy being told to be careful, to walk properly, sit properly, dress properly. Who was telling the men not to look at us like that? Like, I think there's such a huge disconnect there.
Yeah, and that's why it's very important for us. As we parent the next generation, we ought to do better.
We do, yeah.
I feel like, our mothers were giving us what they thought was best for survival, because in the societies where they lived, for you to survive, you had to kind of abide by those rules. So in their right, they were trying to kind of make us acceptable, but I don't think they were realizing how harmful that is. And now that we are learning and unlearning and relearning, which is very hard, we of course need to, to raise the next generation better. Both male and female, all of them.
And the concerns were valid.
They were valid. That's true. Yeah.
I think the statistic is really high for especially women within the African continent who are assaulted by family members.
Oh yes.
It's actually surprisingly high.
It is
surprisingly high. So our mothers' concerns were extremely valid. We may not have appreciated it then. I think to a large extent it's like more anisumbua. So it's like I'm okay, like it's fine, everything is fine.
Yeah.
But the concerns were extremely valid.
Yeah,
extremely valid.
Yeah. So, but we are grateful that now we're able to have these conversations. And have them openly, because again, I remember there were things that we do not talk about them. We do not even whisper about them. So I think for me, the one thing that I appreciate is that we are having these conversations, and a lot more people are seeing the truth into it. But the progress is so slow. We need to speed it up.
We do. It's the 22nd century.
2022 policies are taking so many years.
Yes,
to